Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. My name is Crown, and today I'm going to read you some very interesting stories that I hope that you're gonna love. And now, without further ado, let's go! So, I worked for the IT help desk of our local city council. One early morning at around 5:30 a.m., my mother stormed into my room scaring the crap out of me and my cat. Half asleep, I asked why she was screaming at me. Clearly, in a panic, she told me that the police were on the phone and asking for me. No, I won't go into detail, but suffice to say my first thoughts were, what did I do now? And I didn't do anything, did I? Still half asleep, I walked downstairs and got on the phone and vaguely asked, yes? I got a reply along the lines of, God damn it, it's always the same with you guys. Don't you know it's market day? Yeah, every Wednesday, isn't it? It's every Wednesday and has been since around 1302 AD. The police officer says, what? Are you gonna start making a joke out of this? Me, slowly starting to wake up completely. No, I just do. Police cutting me off angrily. Your car is on the market square, and they can't set up their stalls, damn it. Get over here now and move this damn car. The IT department was next to the market square, so sometimes a car did indeed stay parked there overnight. Me really having issues with people screaming at me? No problem. Be right there. Now, usually I rode my bike to work, but seeing as it was clearly a pressing matter, I asked my dad, who had awoken from my mother's frantic behavior, to drive me to the market square. On the way there, I explained the situation and my dad couldn't help but give a chuckle and told me don't do anything stupid, to which I gave him a smile, shrugged, and with a Han Solo-esque grin told him, hey, it's the cops. My father snickered and shook his head knowing that doing something stupid was somewhat of my middle name. If a police officer tells you to do something, you do it, right? We arrive at the market, where people were already setting up stalls to prepare for market day, except for where I spotted the car of the IT hardware department, and about 50 meters behind it, a police car with its lights flashing. I got out and slowly walked over to the two police officers that were standing near their car. One of them immediately launched into a tirade about how we were all the same and how we, IT guys, always thought we ran things, which basically we did, including their IT. Once he paused, I calmly asked him what he wanted me to do. Again, he blew up, nearly screaming, "Move that car!" Not wanting there to be any doubts, I asked if he was sure, and he truly nearly lost it, screaming incoherently words like, a-hole, arrest, and jail. Okay, calm down, I'll do it if you insist. Let me go up to the office and look for the keys. So off I went. I went to our offices where I was met by our clean/coffee lady who asked why I was in so early. So I explained the situation and that the hardware department's car was on the market square again. Confused, she asked me, but that's not your department, is it? To which I sighed and said, nope. Do you know where the keys are? So together we looked for the keys, which we found rather quickly. I asked if she'd accompany me down because the police were making me nervous, which she kindly and graciously did. Upon getting back down, it was clear that Angry One hadn't calmed down and that probably taken longer to go get the keys than he wanted. In quick strides, he walked up to us, and without a word, I tried to hand him the keys, which he didn't notice because he was screaming in an angry and high-pitched voice, "Move that car!" At that point, our cleaning and coffee lady looked at me and said, "But you..." I shrugged and gave her the most roguish smile I could muster at that time. She smiled, gently shaking her head. Once more, and just to make sure I got things straight, I calmly and politely asked, so, you're telling me I have to move that car? Now, I've seen cops get angry before, but never turn red with figurative steam coming out of their ears. He flew up and pulled out his nightstick and took one step forward as if to indicate I was getting closer, either getting arrested or smacked over the head. So I turned and quickly made it over to the car, nervously but loudly muttering things like, "Under duress and not my job." I got in the car, fumbled with the keys somewhat, and in 3 or 4 tries started the car. I waited about a minute and then the car sputtered forward and stopped. I tried again the car sputtered, but then it took off, like a freaking rocket. And all I remember from the short drive is seeing our cleaning/coffee lady bursting out laughing as I passed just before I plowed straight into the police car. As I was getting out somewhat dazed, I saw the 2 police officers stand there white as sheets and utterly perplexed. I stammered at them the immortal words, "I don't know how to drive, man. I just pick up the phones and help people." So yes, they called the only person in all the IT departments that didn't have a driver's license and just worked on phones, and one that doesn't really like the police, nor getting woken up hours before I have to get up. I suffered no consequences as there were CCTV cameras filming it all, with audio, which I of course knew, and our cleaning lady clearly heard the cop order me to move the car. Having known the mayor since I was 12 helped too, of course. So the moral of the story is, always do what the police tell you to do. We'll start with the cast of the story. There is the entitled mother, the vegetarian daughter, the friend, the one who told me the story, and the entitled mother's husband. A friend and the entitled mother have a daughter, 7, female, and this happened during the girl's birthday in April. One of the guests, 6 female according to my friend, is a vegetarian daughter. Her family has been vegetarian since before she was born, so she has never tasted meat. In case you don't know, this means that her stomach doesn't know how to digest meat. And in case she decides to stop being a vegetarian, one day she will have to introduce it to her diet slowly, and from what I'm told, with the help of a medical professional. The entitled mother promised the vegetarian mother that she would have a special dish for her daughter. The entitled mother was going to make homemade pizza, so she said that she would make a vegetarian one for the girl. When the vegetarian mother and her daughter got to the party, the entitled mother pointed the vegetarian mom to a separate plate of pizza, and the vegetarian mom left for work thinking everything was fine. The kids eat, and according to my friend, the daughter ate all of her pizza with no problem. Apparently, she said that it tasted different, but the entitled mother told her that it was because she uses a special recipe for the dough, which is true. Time passes and the vegetarian daughter complains of stomach pain. Suddenly she vomits violently and cries, calling her parents. The entitled mother gets angry and yells, "What are you doing? Do you know how much that meat cost me? It was of very good quality." The guests make her admit that she put a lot of meat on the girl's pizza to show that she is just a spoiled brat. The poor girl has eaten a lot, so everyone panics. They call the emergency number, and the vegetarian daughter leaves in an ambulance while the entitled mother is arrested. The vegetarian girl needs a stomach pump and spent several days in the hospital because her stomach barely accepts water. She eventually returns home but must limit herself to certain foods until her stomach settles. According to my friend, the daughter was born with some health problems, but we don't know if that's what caused the situation to be serious enough to require hospitalization. This has never happened to anyone I know, so I don't know if hospitalization is normal in this situation. I only knew about not being able to eat meat all at once because a friend who is an ex-vegetarian told me about it. The trial has just ended, and the entitled mother must pay a large compensation to the vegetarian daughter's family. She will also spend a long time in jail, as she has shown no remorse for what she has done. Apparently, she kept stating that the girl did it on purpose and that all the children should eat meat. When the judge handed down the sentence, the entitled mother shouted that everyone was against her for trying to give protein to a girl who desperately needs it because her parents are killing her. Quote from my friend. My friend has had a pretty bad time, but The vegetarian mom has talked to him and doesn't blame him since it was shown that he didn't know what the entitled mother was going to do. He was out of town for a month for a family emergency. He came back the morning of his daughter's birthday and has voluntarily submitted all communication he had with the entitled mother at that time. Now that the trial is over, he's asking for a divorce. Taking everything into account, the entitled mother will not be entitled to anything. Their daughter will still be a minor when the entitled mother gets out of jail, but it's highly unlikely that she will be awarded any custody. She, at most, will receive visits at a safe point. Their daughter is in therapy and the poor thing is very confused. Her father has explained the situation to her and she knows that it's not the vegetarian daughter's fault that her birthday was ruined. Apparently, the entitled mother has done this to her brother before when he became a vegetarian, but he could recognize the taste of meat and immediately confronted her. I hope the entitled mother learns the lesson this time. I'm glad to say that the vegetarian girl has recovered and is still friends with my friend's daughter. Context: I have been working in this health insurance company for the past 3 years. I recently took another position with better hours and better pay, but this time it was to coordinate appointments with doctors and specialists. My metrics were always great, and the reason I was selected for the new position was due to my metrics. This has been proven since October 2022. We used to have a co-worker, let's call her Karen. Karen is this old lady that thinks she knows it all. Everything she says is right, and she often blames everything on someone else. Typical Karen activities. The first time I interacted with her was back in October when I messaged her via our work chat because she messed up prior authorization for a patient, and the MD office was calling to have the person that created the authorization fix the issue. And the conversation went like this. Me? Hi, good morning. I have an MD office calling requesting to speak to you in regards to a prior authorization that looks incomplete. Karen? And you couldn't help them? This is a call center, you're supposed to help. And I don't even know who that MD is. You're correct. This is a call center. However, you created this authorization, and as you know, I cannot fix authorizations that were not created by me. And also, they will like to speak with you specifically. I also provided her with a patient record number and the MD office phone number. She says, "Well, I'm not available to talk to them." Okay. I went back to the call and I specifically told the MD what she said, including that she's not available to talk. But hopefully she will call them back to fix the issue. I also sent a message to my direct supervisor with a screenshot of our conversation, and I simply said, "This is unprofessional, especially in an environment like ours." Fast forward the start of the year and Karen took a position with our quality assurance department due to them being understaffed. I used to work in a QA department and I knew the ins and outs and knew she would be assigned to our department since she already had experience. Context: our quality assurance gives us scores from 100 and if we miss something we get points deducted. Examples: miss HIPAA -20, give inaccurate information -10, do not advise people for our survey -5, and so on. In January came my first bad score in 3 years on the company. It was 56%. I was astonished because it was the first time I've had a bad score, but I also make sure if this score is accurate. Our company gives us a choice to listen to our calls just in case a quality agent made a mistake. I listened to my call and I did everything right. I completed the information and provided good service, and I asked if the PT needed assistance with anything else and provided the closing script. On the quality note, it was stated that I didn't offer any help and that I didn't even complete HIPAA. I sent it to my supervisor and he stated that when I offered the closing script, the patient asked something and I replied and disconnected the call. Okay. I still said the closing script and his question and my answer lasted literally 5 seconds. My supervisor still went to her and managed to fix the score to 95% because she felt like I didn't provide the survey. If someone has worked in a call center, you know that metrics are everything. One bad thing will quickly not get your monthly bonuses, and on top of that, we get our butts handed to us by management because if we didn't achieve the metrics, they also do not get bonuses. I took screenshots of our conversation and saved it in a file. Then I sent it to my personal email, since I know our IT department is known for deleting anything that is not a working system or appropriate. Fast forward 3 days ago, or April 18th, I had received several scores ranging from 85 to 80, and only 100% score. The 100 score I received was because Karen was not the one who audited my call, and the other person found everything alright. About the 85% looked fishy, since the first thing you see is a patient's name. I quickly remembered the call because the person was funny and I enjoyed the call. I listened to the call and of course I did everything perfectly. However, Karen put on a system that she deducted 10 points for not telling the patient that he had a copay for the visit and another 5 points for extending the call. What? I contacted my supervisor and let him know what happened. However, I didn't receive a response. I was confused, so I sent a message to a co-worker who told me that they have been having the same issue as Karen with inaccurate audits and the department not achieving their monthly goals due to it. Since my supervisor did not reply, I did what everyone does when management does not reply. I messaged Karen, and I sent her a message that just said, "Hey, I have seen some inaccurate audits and I would like to know if you could recheck them since I listened to the calls and everything was done properly." The reply I received was, "All audit scores are final and it cannot be appealed." I knew it was a lie since I worked with quality before, and I know it could be changed. I replied, "You know, I worked in the department for 1 year and I know it could be rechecked and revised, right?" Karen said, "Your previous position is irrelevant in this matter. If you don't like the score, you can go ahead and submit a complaint to my supervisor." I replied, "Okay, have a good day," knowing that her supervisor knows me really well. Cue malicious compliance. I just didn't create one formal complaint, I created one complaint for each time she scored me incorrectly. Not only that, but I also told my 19 co-workers what she said and advised them that if they would like their scores overturned and rechecked, they could send a complaint to her supervisor, but only to send one complaint per bad score. Also, to let you guys know, we don't get one audit a month. No, we get audited 10 times per month. In a span of 24 hours, her supervisor must have received around 200 complaints from our department, complaining for one person, Karen. The first complaint was mine, with Karen conversation saying that all decisions are final and she cannot recheck or overturn, and also saying to submit a complaint to her supervisor. Her supervisor sent me a message saying that they will evaluate all the complaints and scores and we will be receiving a message. That was on Monday, April 17th, 2023. On Tuesday, we didn't get any messages. Wednesday, I couldn't go to work due to my illness. But today, on April 20th, I received a message from her supervisor stating that my scores have been reviewed and properly scored, and also stating that my supervisor will be under investigation because any complaint should be submitted to his manager and he never submitted anything, and that the employee has been terminated. But the best part is logging into her chat and seeing Karen's profile with no pictures. Instead of her name, it only said unknown user. The morale of our group is better, and I hope we don't have issues again.
And now we have reached the end of today's stories. Thank you for watching and see you next time.